everyone, so today's card we're going to use some scrap paper I had from my last card and it wasn't quite big enough, so I'm just going to chop off the bottom of this card and add on some other cardstock in a slightly different colour just to make up that front so it's the right length again. So I've just cut this down to size and I'm just going to put a bit of double-sided sticky tape along the one edge. Then I'm going to line it up with the inside of the bottom of the card so that I know it's going to be in the right place when I shut the top fold down. And then just trim off that extra bit on the width there. And you can see now the card's whole again. I'm using this stamp set for this whole card. I use this constantly, but I haven't ever used these diamond stamps. So I just wanted to create a repeat pattern on the bottom part of this lilac coloured cardstock, and I just did 2 rows of this in grey ink because it's going to be for a bloke, this card. And here I'm using this really quite small stamp from Forever Friends. It's a Do Craft stamp, and I'm stamping it here twice because I want to cut out the cherry individually. I'm also going to emboss it in clear embossing powder just to set the design. And basically the card is quite small. I think it's 4 inches by 4 inches because this stamp's so small, but I still wanted it to be the focal point for this card, and I didn't see how to just incorporate it into another stamp design, so I wanted this to be the focal point. So I've heat embossed both of those and set them with the embossing tool. And now I'm just going to cut around one of the designs with my Colossal circle cutting tool. And then just snip these last few pieces out that the tool doesn't get. And then I'm just going to roughly cut around this one because I only want the cherry. So here I've got my acrylic block and I'm just going to scribble some of my Copic markers on there. I'm using some browns and some reds, and I also used a yellow as well for the iced bun bit of the cake. So just scribbled a little bit on there, and now I'm just using the very lightest brown, and I'm just going to build up the colour in using shading and darker colours and lighter colours until I'm happy with the design. I have got another video on this if you want to see the technique in more detail, and also there's another video on YouTube that I'd recommend, and I'll have a link to it here. So I've already coloured it all in now. I'm just going to chop this cherry. It's really tiny, so I could barely see what I was doing, so I didn't bother filming that bit. And now here, the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't have any grey cardstock. And what I wanted to do was mimic the grey of the diamonds that I had already stamped. So I'm just cutting out a circle that's a bit bigger than the one I used to stamp the cupcake on. And I'm just going around the edges quite liberally with grey ink. And then when I mount the cupcake on top of it, it'll look like it was grey cardstock. And here I'm using the smallest, tiniest little 3-dimensional sticker I could cut out just to mount this cherry on with. Very fiddly, but I thought it was worth it. It was quite cheeky, just sitting on the top of the cake there. So, and then I'm gonna mount the whole cupcake on top of this grey piece of cardstock, or rather my grey inked cardstock. So I'm just centralising that on there, which gets the effect I was looking for. Okay, so now I need the sentiment, and I'm just going to have Enjoy on the front. So I'm stamping that with Stays On. Alternatively, you could clear emboss it, or black embossing powder, but I didn't really want it shiny and standing out, just wanted it stamped. And then I've just put some more 3D foam mounts on, and I'm going to mount the whole cupcake onto the front of the card. Centrally. It's not often I do central cards, but this one I thought looked right with it. Okay, then on the inside of the card I want to put "It's Cake Day" because there's cake on the front of the card. It's a guy's birthday. I didn't want it to be too girly, so it's just, I put "It's Cake Day" and he'll find that amusing because he's that kind of bloke. And I just wrote this freehand, just tried to keep it all even. I was happy with it in the end. And then I just did some faux stitching around this grey circle on the cupcake, just to link that all together. And then I cut off all the corners with my corner rounding punch, and then the card was finished. So I hope you enjoyed today's card. I will be back soon with another one, and I'll see you then. Thanks very much for watching. Bye!